Hello, my name is Ashley, this is Faithful Rattos, and welcome or welcome back. So in today's video, I thought I would do a little vlog that you are not going to see right now when I'm filming this video, you're going to see it in the future hopefully. So recently I've been thinking a lot about my breeding goals and next time around and what I need. And obviously last time around I didn't get any Siameses. And for long-term propriety, I guess, I don't know what the right word is, but for long-term safety with my line, I would really like to have some female Siameses right now, or, now. So I've spoken to a couple of my breeder friends and had a good think about it, and I have decided that I'm going to try Marissa for a second litter, and I'm going to try her once, because she's a little bit older, she's 13 months now. I'm just going to try her once and see how it goes. If she doesn't take, I'm not going to push it because of how old she is, but I do think that it would be beneficial for the line, so I'm going to try it. And I'm trying her with Burdock, which is also a good little testy thing, because I wanted to see whether the small litter size for Sophie was because of Burdock or whether it was another thing going on. So that's what we're doing. I'm currently in my room because these two lovebirds together. Is he being nice to you? Burdock is such a sweet rat, and he's even sweet with his female companions, which is really nice. Currently just cleaning himself. Are you right there, buddy? It's a bit too much excitement for one day. So yeah, that's what's going on. I'm going to keep you updated on how this litter goes. And my plan is that if she takes, this video will have the babies in. Let's see. So, back to this vlog that I forgot that I was doing until today, so you're welcome. Marissa is day 21 today, which means that she's due in the next couple of days. I am quite busy the next couple of days, which is probably a good thing so that I'm not sitting at home worried about the whole situation. Last time I had to take myself out of the house, so it being when I've got plans is actually probably a good thing. Rat Dad is here if anything happens, but me not being here is probably a good thing. Anyway, so I have here her maternity cage that I'm just going to show you around in a minute, but I just wanted to update you. She's day 21 today, and rats are generally pregnant for around 22 to 25 days. So today I'm going to pop her in her maternity cage with a friend to settle in, and then tomorrow morning before I leave to go and see the Percy Jackson musical in Cardiff, before I leave, I will take her friend out, and this is because she can birth from any day. At that point, I'll have a friend in here so she can settle in, and at that point I'll also take the hammock out, because that can be a risk for babies being dragged from the nest and then going cold if she doesn't realise that she's moved them. So the hammock will come out, but it's going to be quite a basic setup in there, but plenty of stuff for her to do, plenty of nesting material, all the things. So I'm going to show you that, and then we're going to pop her in and I'll show her to you a little bit too. So I choose to use an Alaska for my birthing cage just to give my does a little bit more room. If I find that this is too much space for them, I will go down to a small hamster cage or a show tank if necessary, if for whatever reason there's stress. But Marissa was absolutely fine in a cage this size last time, so I don't expect she's going to have any problems. You can hear the birdies. So I also have some cardboard around the cage. Now this is just to make this feel a very safe spot when the babies are little and for birthing as well. So inside, let's see, we have lots of different types of nesting materials. So I've got this white packing paper, fleece, hay, these toilet roll middles, but sort of ripped so they don't get anyone stuck. I've added in, you can't really see, a couple of chew toys, a branch and some rope, just to give her something to do. I have a little bendy bridge. She chose to birth in this last time, so I give her this again, but there's plenty of stuff in here for her to make a nest of her own. Obviously she's going to have water, one which will have the vitamin water and one that will just be plain, a couple of chew toys, I'll add some nuts, and obviously she'll have her food in here, but this is her birthing setup. So here we have our pregnant lady. Are we going to do a stand up so everyone can see your belly? Come here.
Hello, Kiki.
Oh, no, we're off. We're off. Where are we going? Come here. Marissa? Marissa, where have you gone? Dearie me. Are you down there? Oh, here you are. Right, give me a second, guys. Oh dear, I wasn't even recording. That's great. Hold on. Stand up. Okay. Can you see that, guys? Can you see it? The big pregnant belly? She's got licky licks everywhere and she's just off. Checking out her new digs. Who are you gonna have? Who are you gonna have as a friend? Who are you gonna have as a friend? Hey?
Oh, there's a bunch there. The two black ones.
Hello? I'm trying to listen. Very really nice. Cute. Okay, everyone. Vlogging while crossing the street, probably not the best idea, but here we are again, outside of the vets. So, obviously you've seen the beginning of this video where we were hoping that Marissa didn't have a litter. That we were hoping Marissa was going to have a litter. That didn't happen. She is day 26 today, and obviously overdue. She didn't really get that big. She did gain weight, but she didn't really get that big, and she's overdue. And because I am very, very thorough, I decided to come here to the vets and see if we were looking at any sort of babies in there, and if there was any sort of, you know, dodgy stuff going on, basically. And I will update you when I get home. But yeah, that's what happened. Hello. So this is the last clip in this vlog, and I just never got round to filming a video when I got home, sort of explaining what happened at the vet, because Monday was also my book release day. So my book is now officially out, which is really exciting. And I was, you know, sorting out social media posts for my book being out. I was sorting out a post about Marissa, which did spark a little bit of debate over on Facebook. So I was sort of, you know, dealing with those questions, you know, dealing with my book launch. There's a whole lot of things going on. So I never got round to sitting down and just filming a little outro for this video and sort of explaining what happened. So I don't know if I explained this properly in the other clips, but basically Marissa was day 26 on the day that we went to the vet, and rats usually give birth on day 22, 23, maybe 24. So she was overdue, and she had started to lose a little bit of weight, and there was no sign of babies, no blood, no discharge, nothing. And she was starting to get annoyed being in the maternity cage. So I decided that I would just go and check at the vet, because for me, it is just a way easier thing to do. So I went over to the vet, and we did an ultrasound, and the vet palpated her, you know, abdomen, and there was just no sign of babies at all. On the palpation, there was nothing. She could just feel like normal, healthy kidneys. There was just nothing. There was just no sign of any babies or anything in there. So then she was like, we can leave it at that, or we could do an x-ray or an ultrasound. And I was like, let's just do an ultrasound, just to be sure. So we did a little bit of an ultrasound. Again, I would have loved to be able to record that, but I was holding Marissa and also trying to manage the other two rats I'd brought with me for company. So that didn't happen, but I managed to take a picture that is probably like the, what are they called? Thumbnails of this video. So anyway, we did the ultrasound, and the vet saw like nothing, no signs, sort of no like bony remains, nothing in there, which is great news, which means that she's not probably going to have any complications right now from this. And I'm wondering at what point did she reabsorb them, because she definitely was pregnant. She didn't come into heat that whole time, and she did gain weight, and her body composition did change, but I'm just wondering how much of that was left over from like the previous pregnancy, and how much was new, and maybe she was just eating a little bit too many treats. that's possible because the girls like to hide treats and then find them on free roam. So she at some point was pregnant, I believe. And then I reckon maybe around week 2 she reabsorbed, just based on the fact there was no sort of bony remains or anything like that. So that sort of scuppers my plan in terms of trying to get some Siamese out in this for the next generation. My options for my next generation are fine. I can do them. They're just, none of them are the ideal pairing that I would like. There are downsides to each pairing. So some of the boys are not the exact type. One is having a health issue that I will talk about if I make a video about like choosing who to pair. So, and then my 2 boys from this generation that I've just had, I don't particularly want to breed with them. I want to give them a little bit longer to grow up. If I pair back to Burdock, then possibly I'm having this level of infertility on his end. If I pair back to BT, then I am definitely going to be putting myself in a corner in terms of the whole sable of it all, which means that I would have to probably do an outcross next generation after that, or maybe the next generation after that, which is fine, but also not ideal. I don't want to have just a bunch of sables. That's not my goal. My goal is Burmese and Wheaten, not Sable Wheaten and Sable Burmese. So we shall see what happens on that front, but the lack of babies this time around does make my options slimmer, make my options less ideal, which is why I tried for this litter, but obviously it didn't work out and she's slightly older, so I'm not going to push it. I don't think it's worth it for her sake to try again. It's not necessary. We will be okay without it. It was just, I thought if we could get some Siamese this time around, it would be great. But alas, no, we didn't. And also, I mentioned there was a little bit of debate on the Facebook post, and that is because I plan to spay Marissa in a couple of months, and that's already booked in with my lovely Adele. And that's just because, from what I've seen, a lot of Pios do sort of form based off remnants in the uterus from previous unfull-term pregnancies, if that makes sense, from pregnancies where not all of the fetal remains have been reabsorbed. And I've definitely seen that with Mara's Pio. There was something in there that was causing that weird, like, slug-looking thing. It was definitely fetal remains, and Adele has confirmed to me that this is something that she sees pretty often. In those that she's spraying for Pio, she sees the remains. So we're going to go ahead and spay because that is just my comfort level. I would rather do a spay on a healthy animal than do an emergency spay on a very sick animal. So that's my preference, and it doesn't have to be the thing that everyone does. That's just how I feel, and how that's just how I feel. That is that. I think that's everything that I wanted to tell you about the situation. So, no babies from Marissa, but it's okay because she's okay. Alright, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching this failure of a vlog. If you are interested, you can buy my book on Amazon, or you can buy it from Mischief Made. Any and all rat lovers will adore this book, I promise you. If you want to stick around, subscribe, do all the things down there, leave me a comment, questions, all the things, like, subscribe, Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.